After the worst winter in 30 years, the UK's roads are in desperate need of repair. And despite the recent government pledge of £100 million to help fix potholes, the experts know that this will not nearly be enough. Cllr Richard Kemp, the Deputy Chair of the LGA, speaks about what more needs to be done.
Traditionally, we've got a backlog of major repairs. Ideally, we need £9.2 billion over the next 4 or 5 years to make sure every road was good. That's always been unrealistic, but the last few years it has actually got worse. Secondly, we've had 2 really bad winters. We started off with the worst winter for 20 years, and that was followed up the next time by the worst winter for 30 years. Now that creates real problems for us. Ice creates cracks. We then, of course, put salt down, which is acidic, and that creates more cracks. So the bad repairs for years, exacerbated by 2 winters, has led us to a quite difficult situation for local councils to deal with. A lot of people pay their road tax and think that goes to roads. Well, it doesn't. That goes to the government, and we get a proportion of that back. Local authorities have actually increased our amount of expenditure that we put on roads, but a lot of our money comes from the governments. But roughly 70% of what we spend comes from central government, and if they don't give it us, we can't spend it. We can be as efficient as we like, but we need a large chunk of money to deal with the backlog on our roads at the moment. Councils have put more money in of our own resources into dealing with potholes. We've diverted some from some of the more longer term programmes, and the extra £100 million from the government will help. So we believe that we'll be able to fill in all the potholes. That will leave lots of roads that look as though they're more filled in pothole than original surface. So it won't deal with the big problems, but it will deal with the emergency problems. We know, for example, that in the 3 years that starts the 1st of April 2011, capital programmes will be reduced by 50%. It doesn't matter who wins the election, that's already in Treasury figures and no one's disputing it. So this is going to be a really difficult situation where our roads, our public realm generally, is going to get more decayed and shabbier. And that's not something that the councils can deal with by themselves. I think the government needs to work more closely with local government. Are we spending the right money on the major trunk roads at the expense of the roads that councils maintain? Is safety going to be a priority? How do we accept that priority against others? There are no easy solutions in the financial circumstances which the country finds itself in. The only solution that will deal with some of the problems is for local and central government to work together more closely than we have done in the past.